Hi, Jeanne. I'm Jane Goddard. I'm the Human Resources Director from Golden Acres Assistant Living Home, and I'm so glad to have you here today. I reviewed your application, looked over your resume, everything looks very impressive, and I did call your references. You have a good report from everybody, and I appreciate the opportunity to interview you in person today.
Well, thank you, Jane. I'm Jeanne Kochan, and I am applying for the nurse position, the RN, at the assisted living home.
So, Jeanne, unfortunately, Golden Acres does not have the budget for advertising as the major hospitals, but based on your experience and your education, we are prepared to offer you a salary of $33,000 with an additional $2,500, which we would put towards education and professional development.
That sounds good, but I know the market for registered nurses, and I can't accept that. I was looking for $44,000. Would you say to that?
Well, Jeanne, I'm sorry, but $44,000 isn't in our budget. We could go a little higher than the $33,000. We could offer you $35,000, and then after your first review, possibly knocking it up somewhat at that point.
Well, I won't take $44,000 because you did say you're going to offer me some benefits, and you will tell me what those are. But I know the market for registered nurses. I know what my preparation and experience has been, and I won't settle, and this is an absolute, I won't settle for less than $39,000. How do you feel about that? Your budget can be adapted, adjusted.
Well, Jeanne, we could probably go $39,000 if you were willing to relocate in a different market. Given the cost of living, we can't offer that if you stay in our El Paso office. But if you were willing to transfer to, say, Phoenix, we could pay you $39,000 at that point.
May I call you Jane?
Certainly.
Jane, I can't accept that. I would like to go to Texas. I have relatives there. It's important for me to be near family since I am a widow and I have no children. Would you consider that, going to Texas?
How about Albuquerque? Albuquerque is close to Texas.
I have lived in Albuquerque. Excuse me for interrupting, Jane, but I don't like Albuquerque. And I really have my heart set on going to Texas. I want to work for you. You have a terrific reputation taking good care of your client patients, but I can't settle for anything except Texas. What do you think about San Antonio?
We could get you in our San Antonio office. It would be, we would need, if we did allow you to stay in Texas and go to San Antonio, we would need you to start right away because positions there fill quickly, and we would like to have you start on August 1st.
That's a little bit too early for me. I have to get an apartment. I have to move my possessions there. So what about compromising at August 15th. That's only 2 weeks.
Okay, we would be able to do that.
Well, thank you for accommodating me. Now let's talk about those benefits.
Well, we offer an excellent vacation program and insurance package. You would have full insurance that would come into effect 90 days after the day that you were hired.
That's reasonable.
And as an extra perk, we also have a special spa set up for our clients that you would have full access to. It has a pool, sauna, state-of-the-art exercise equipment, and you would have your choice of classes. You could take dance classes, yoga. That's a big incentive that we offer our employees.
Well, that sounds awfully good to me. How about the tuition for the extracurricular training at $2,500? That will compensate for the fact that I'm taking less of a salary than that is the market salary for nurses, RNs. Maybe LPNs could go lower. They do go lower. But $44,000 is a reasonable figure for the market.
Yes, we would be happy to provide that.
Okay, $2,500. Now, what about the first salary review? That would be in 3 months. That's usual. That's the probationary period for people who have entered a new job. 3 months. Would you be agreeable to that?
Oh, I had it on me there. Well, in our corporation, typically 6 months is the normal amount of time before the first salary review. However, that could be somewhat negotiable, although it would be a trade-off because in terms of vacation time, typically we offer 7 days after the first year, but if we bumped up the salary review, then we would have to offer less in your vacation time.
Well, my vacation time, I won't go less than 7 days. 7 days. I won't accept 5 days. I would love 10 days, but you have talked about a budget. You're not a hospital, but that is my bid. 7 days.
We could offer you 7 days, providing we could put your date of your first salary review at 6 months rather than 3 months.
No, we're going to keep the salary review at 3 months. Now, what shift would I be working? That is a big differential. 7 to 3, 3 to 11, 11 to 7. Where would you need me the most?
Well, that would be contingent on whatever facility, the needs of the facility at the time. We would try to fit you into the daytime schedules. Probably the 7 a.m. to 3 would be where we would like to see you.
Well, that's fine with me. But that's going to be contingent upon the salary review, 3 months for 1,500 points for me. Now let's go to the starting date we've agreed upon, the insurance, the salary, and the location is San Antonio. So here's what I have, and I hope you can agree because these are non-negotiable. Vacation will be 7 days. The starting date will be August 15th. That'll give me 2 weeks to get ready. The insurance effective date is 2 months. Now that's a little compromise. The salary is $39,000, and the salary review is 3 months. The professional development, I like that, is $2,500, and the location, although I would have preferred El Paso, at least I'll be in the same state as my nieces and nephews, San Antonio.
Well, we're in agreement on quite a few, and at this point we have given quite a bit in this negotiation. We agree on the $39,000. I think that that's fair for a registered nurse, although it is a bit above our budget. August 15th would be an acceptable start date. And the company would be glad to pay out the $2,500 for professional management, tuition, education. We would prefer to have you out of Texas, but San Antonio is the only spot we could possibly squeeze you in. There's not anything available right now in El Paso. But in terms of the other issues here,
you're talking about vacation?
I'm talking about vacation, the first salary review. If we're paying out the full amount, the $39,000, we would have to stick to 6 months on the date of the first salary review.
Okay. You're telling me you have made concessions, Jane, but I've made them too. I know I'm worth more than $39,000. I know that. And it's just, I'm an older nurse now, and I don't want to work in a hospital with doctors giving you orders over the phone and then blasting you out if you don't understand everything. So I can't concede anymore, Jeanne. This is the way it has to stand. I have conceded much. Why don't we call it a day and agree? This is the best alternative solution. This is our BATNA. What do you think?
Yeah, it sounds good. I mean, we're awfully close in the negotiation. You've made some concessions, and we would like to hire you. We think that this would be a good fit, and this would be a low-stress environment. There's not that many doctors. It's an assisted living home where there are a few doctors on staff, but it would be primarily offering services to patients and working with them directly.
That's great. I love that. I love it. I have had my husband in an assisted living home, okay? And I know that the stress isn't as great as in a hospital. I mean, I'm in my 40s now. But I'm in agreement with the terms if you're in agreement with my terms.
So outline exactly where we're at, Jeanne, and
Okay.
which things we need to work out. We have determined the $39,000 annual salary for you.
We've determined August 15th as the start date.
Okay.
We've determined 2 months for the insurance effective date, and I did concede that. And first salary review is 3 months. The tuition is $2,500. And although I would love to be in El Paso, I will go to San Antonio. I think the last thing we have to talk about is the vacation. 7 days, that's not a lot. Most nurses get 2 weeks vacation after they've passed their probationary period.
Well, Jeanne, we would be able to give you the 7-day vacation after your first year. And of course, with our corporation, that does increase every year that you have worked for us. And I guess the only point now would be the first salary review. If you're comfortable with 6 months, then we would have a deal at this point. Then I can offer you the position.
I'm comfortable with 3 months.
Jeanne.
I know. I mean, this is a matter of income for me as a widow and setting up like a retirement plan, which I noticed was part of your benefit package. So I'd like to stay with that. I think you can squeeze your budget. I will give you my all in this job. I'm very seldom ill, so you don't have to worry about me calling in and saying, sorry, I can't be there, and you have to get a substitute nurse from an agency.
Right. Well, that is a big concern.
Jeanne, you drive a hard bargain.
You are even harder, Jeanne.
I think so. I'm not getting what I wanted to start with.
Well, it's a trade-off for both of us.
Certainly.
So I guess we're just down to the date of the first salary review as being the only thing that we're not in total agreement on,
Right.
or that we can't live with.
I have worked for many years, and every position, even an assisted care home where my husband was, they give you a 3 months review. I'm going to stick with that.
Okay, how about if we do it this way? At 3 months after 90 days, we'll do your first salary review, and after you pass your probationary period, and at that point, then your insurance and your full company benefits will come
That's
effective.
fine. That's
Okay.
fine. We have an agreement.
Okay, well, welcome aboard, Jeanne.
Thank you. It was a pleasure working with you.
It was a pleasure. I hope you enjoy working for us. And
I'm sure that I'm going to enjoy it. You have a beautiful chain throughout all these states.
oh, well, thank you. We're very proud of the care
You're
that we
welcome.
give our people.